on behalf of Major General Colin Cooley and Command Sergeant Major Brian Haight of the United States Maneuver Center of Excellence, and Brigadier General Jim Piercy and Command Sergeant Major Christopher Donaldson of the United States Army Infantry School, we welcome you to today's graduation ceremony. Thank you for taking the time to share this great day with us. Before we start today's ceremony, would the veterans in the audience please stand? Ladies and gentlemen, for 250 years, American infantry soldiers have quietly gone about their duty that has taken them to the historic battlefields on many of the Earth's continents. Infantry soldiers stood fast on the bloody battlefields within our own borders, creating a republic and saving a union. They defeated our nation's enemies in Mexico, Cuba, and China. These warriors scorned the Kaiser in the trenches of France and defeated fascism in Germany and Italy. They set the rising sun of Imperial Japan on 1,000 islands in the Pacific and stood firm against the communists in the mountains and the snows of Korea and in the steamy jungles of Southeast Asia. Infantry soldiers won the Cold War and preserved peace in the far-reaching places like South Korea and Europe by their vigilant presence and spread freedom in Grenada, Panama, Kuwait, and Somalia with their sweat and blood. Infantry soldiers left the comfort of their families and endured the most demanding conditions of cold and heat, of dust and mud, of desert and jungle to fight our nation's wars. These young soldiers, soon to be in front of you today, all volunteers, joined the Army and the infantry. They chose to serve their nation, knowing that they may be deployed around the world by their commander-in-chief. To commemorate the sacrifices of those who went before, and to tangibly link the commitment of today's soldiers with their legendary predecessors, this beautiful parade ground was seeded with soil taken from significant battlefields in our nation's history. On March 19, 2009, a hero or descendant of a hero of these battles spread soil on the very place where your soldier will walk. These battles include Yorktown, Antietam, Soissons, Corregidor, Normandy, San Lorenzo, Korea, LZ X-Ray, Iraq, and Afghanistan. When these young men march proudly past you, they will actually be walking on the ground, followed by their infantry forebears. One of those leaders was Second Lieutenant Daniel K. Inouye, later Senator Inouye from Hawaii. On 12 September 2014, soil was spread on this parade field from San Lorenzo, Italy, and the parade field was officially named Inouye Field in his honor. In 1997, he was awarded the Medal of Honor for his heroic actions on 21 April 1945 at San Lorenzo. As a platoon leader in the 442nd Regimental Combat Team, and despite being critically wounded, Second Lieutenant Inouye, by his gallant, aggressive tactics and his indomitable leadership, led his platoon to advance through fierce resistance and capture the heavily defended and fortified bridge known as Col Mascatello, outside of the town of San Lorenzo, Italy. The purpose of today's ceremony is to recognize the commitment of these soldiers in formation today who have chosen to serve their country as infantry soldiers. This review is the last official formation of the training cycle. Not everyone successfully completes this difficult period of training, but those in formation today represent disciplined, motivated, and physically fit soldiers who exemplify the Army's 7 core values: loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. These soldiers are imbued with the warrior ethos and display the tenets of putting the mission first, never accepting defeat, never quitting, and never leaving behind a fallen comrade. This is an important day, and they can take great pride in their accomplishments. This ceremony marks the culmination of months of long and arduous training, the results of which are these superb infantry soldiers prepared to take their places in infantry units across the world. Like you, we are proud of their accomplishments. Ladies and gentlemen, during the next few moments, there will be loud noises and smoke from the use of pyrotechnics. On the far side of the parade field, the World War II company streets serve as a constant reminder of the time-honored traditions and values of America's greatest generation, those infantry soldiers who walked before us. In just a few moments, out from the past will emerge our country's next greatest generation, today's infantry warrior. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Infantry Rifle Squad and an embodiment of the warrior ethos. Infantry soldiers have the most challenging job of any member of the armed forces. They carry the fight to the enemy around the world. They are the standard bearer for all the armies of the world, leading by example in the fight to defend freedom against ruthless terror. With the increased firepower and lethality of today's weapons, every infantry soldier must be trained to standard in over 200 tasks to defeat our enemies on any battlefield. The infantry soldiers graduating today are accomplished marksmen and indirect fire infantry soldiers, able to engage the enemy day and night. They understand how to shoot, move, and communicate as a team. They are adaptable warriors who can fight as a mounted force from strikers to Bradleys, from the skies, airborne, or air assault, and whose training is the basis for our elite special operations warriors. Most importantly, they are patriots who in a time of war raise their right hand and swore an oath to God and country to defend the Constitution of the United States against any enemy. If called upon to fight building to building in urban terrain, to clear the ridges of mountains, or to deliver aid and provide security in areas stricken with natural disaster. These warriors make the difference in defending our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, the Infantry Rifle Squad. Providing forward counseling and security for the Infantry Rifle Squad and mortar sections is the RQ-28A SRR, a small unmanned aerial system that serves as an early warning device for soldiers on the modern day and future battlefield. The squad is led by a staff sergeant. They are armed with an M7 rifle. The M7 rifle is the latest evolution of service rifle utilizing improved ambidextrous controls and the 6.8 by 51 Fury cartridge that is designated to defeat the latest in adversary body armor. The squad has 2 fire teams. Each fire team is led by a sergeant. They are armed with an M7 rifle. This rifle is fully modular with an integrated receiver rail system that can mount the M157 fire control optic, infrared laser designator used to engage targets at night. Each fire team has 1 automatic rifleman. They are armed with an M250 squad automatic weapon. This system replaces legacy systems, providing improved firepower with a sustained rate of fire of 600 rounds per minute and weighing 6 pounds lighter than the previous weapon system in the M249 squad automatic weapon. Each fire team also has 1 grenadier. They are armed with an M7 rifle and an M320 grenade launcher. It fires a variety of 40mm grenades to include high explosive, illumination, color smoke, and buckshot. The M320 provides an invaluable indirect fire capability to the infantry squad. The remaining soldier in each fire team is the rifleman. They are armed with an M7 rifle and the M136 AT-4 anti-tank launcher. The AT-4 fires an 84mm shaped charge capable of defeating up to 14 inches of rolled homogeneous steel and breaching bunkers or masonry walls in urban structures. Additionally, each one of these soldiers is wearing the integrated head detective system with the AN-PDX-31 binocular night vision device. This night vision device allows the soldiers to see in low or no light conditions, coupled with a laser designator on their weapon. They can place effective fire on all targets at night. On their torso, they are wearing the second generation modular scalable vest MSC, which consists of 4 armored plates capable of stopping small arms, fire, and fragmentation. Additionally, they are wearing ballistic eye protection, knee and elbow pads, and a water hydration system. Ladies and gentlemen, all members of today's rifle squad are from Bravo Company, 1st Battalion, 19th Infantry Regiment. Against any enemy. These infantry soldiers are trained and ready to defend our country and preserve our way of life. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in a round of applause for the United States Army Infantry Rifle Squad. Ladies and gentlemen, now we're turning to the parade field of the United States Army Maneuver Center Excellence Band, led by Drum Major First Sergeant Jeffrey Taylor, commanded and directed by Warrant Officer 1 Lauren Side. today's ceremony is Captain Simon Washak, Executive Officer, 2nd Battalion, 58th Infantry Regiment.
Thank you so much. Just got over here.
Yeah, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise to the invocation and remain standing for the arrival of the official party. 2nd Battalion, 54th Infantry Regiment Chaplain, Captain Jesse Martinez will offer the invocation.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we ask for your almighty hand of protection and guidance to rest upon these highly trained infantry soldiers as they move forward to their next assignment. May they carry with them the lessons of their time here at Fort Benning, Georgia, remembering the rigorous training they endured has forged a resilient foundation, fully preparing them for their calling ahead. We lift up the families who have stood steadfast through every obstacle, offering their unwavering support. We give thanks for the profound brotherhood and sisterhood formed during this journey, the shared camaraderie, hardships, and laughter that sustain them. Grant these soldiers long, healthy lives of prosperous service. Equip them with the strength and wisdom to be a force for good and to leave a lasting impact in all the world.
The official party for today's ceremony consists of the 2nd Battalion, 58th Infantry Regiment Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Kyle Burns, and the Battalion Command Sergeant Major William Richardson. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the national anthem. Gentlemen, if you are not in uniform, please move your head here. The infantry soldiers graduating today come from many parts of the United States. The flags of the 50 states and 6 territories displayed at the museum symbolize the broad base of our national defense. The companies standing before you have conducted a turning blue ceremony because blue is the color of the infantry. This ceremony culminated with each graduating soldier receiving the coveted symbols of an infantry soldier: the cross rifle insignia with blue background discs, and the blue infantry cord. Turning blue signifies the rite of passage of these soldiers to carry on the finest traditions of the infantry. The infantry, cross rifles, blue discs, and blue cord mark these soldiers as qualified to be the finest soldiers in the world, United States Army infantry soldiers. The soldiers most responsible for the training of these infantry soldiers are the drill sergeants, who the Department of the Army carefully selects. The drill sergeant campaign hat and badge have been a stoic symbol of professionalism and pride since 1962. At this time, the drill sergeant of the cycle for Charlie Company, 2nd Battalion, 58th Infantry Regiment, Drill Sergeant Andrew Weaver, will recite the drill sergeant creed.
The drill sergeant creed. I am a drill sergeant. I will assist each individual in their efforts to become a highly motivated, well-disciplined, physically, mentally fit soldier, capable of defeating any enemy on today's modern battlefield. I will show pride in all I train, pride in self, in the Army, and in country. I will insist that each soldier needs to maintain the Army standard, military bearing, and courtesy, consistent with the highest traditions of the U.S. Army. I will lead by example, never requiring a soldier to attempt any task I cannot do myself. Look first, left, and always. I am an American soldier, born to defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. I am a drill sergeant. This will fulfill.
The drill sergeant of the cycle and the distinguished honor graduate will each receive the Army Achievement Medal. Receiving the drill sergeant of the cycle award from Bravo Company, 1st Battalion, 19th Infantry Regiment, is Drill Sergeant Tomas Serrano from the Bronx, New York. The distinguished honor graduate from Bravo Company, 1st Battalion, 19th Infantry Regiment, is PFC Braden Aguilar. Private Aguilar's following assignment is Fort Carson, Colorado. Receiving the Drill Sergeant of the Cycle Award from Alpha Company, 2nd Battalion, 54th Infantry Regiment, is Drill Sergeant Paul Strickland from Anchorage, Alaska. Drill Sergeant Strickland's spouse, Chloe Strickland, is being presented a bouquet in recognition of the constant support given to their spouse. The distinguished honor graduate from Alpha Company, 2nd Battalion, 54th Infantry Regiment, is Private Trenton Robertson from Buffalo Center, Iowa. Private Robertson following assignment is Iowa National Guard. Receiving the Drill Sergeant of the Cycle Award from Charlie Company, 2nd Battalion, 58th Infantry Regiment, is Drill Sergeant Andrew Weaver from Zanesville, Ohio. Drill Sergeant Weaver's spouse, Caitlin Weaver, is receiving a bouquet in recognition of the constant support given to their spouse. The distinguished honor graduate from Charlie Company, 2nd Battalion, 58th Infantry Regiment, is Private Alan Miller from Ravenna, Michigan. Private Miller's following assignment is Fort Polk, Louisiana. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in giving these fine soldiers a round of applause. Lieutenant Colonel Kyle Burns.
All right, good morning. Before we get started, hey, soldiers on the field, rest. Don't worry, your drill sergeants aren't going to yell at you. All right, cad's ready to rest too. All right, so it's a beautiful southern Georgia day here, ladies and gentlemen, and it's nothing short but hot, so I will be brief. But before we get started, little thing we do down here at Fort Bend, more importantly, Sand Hill, motivation is absolutely imperative to everything that we do to instill the value of the infantry. So what I need, and I don't care if you clap, scream, have your feet or do all three. But if you got a loved one or a soldier out on this field, graduated from American Company, 2nd Battalion, 54th Infantry Regiment, I want you to let them hear you out on this field. Come on. Transforming civilian volunteers into infantry soldiers in a mere 5-month time frame is not just a challenging task, but an essential, deliberate act that we cannot fail, compromise, or fall short in. The drill sergeants before you are some of the best our Army has to offer, and they have been the source that have molded your sons and daughters into our future warfighters. They didn't just teach these warriors how to fight, they taught them how to win. So let's give them a quick round, please. With a little bit of part of wisdom to the men out and women on this field. So America, Baker, and Jayhawks, listen up. Your journey here has been far from easy. You've endured physical challenge, crushed through mental barriers, and overcome obstacles that less than 1% of our nation dare to face. We are proud of you, but remain hungry. Make the choice every day to become better, to sharpen your edge, to chase perfection in your warrior task. Be bold and carry your heads high, now and always. You represent the best of us, so honor it. As you step forward into the next chapter, remember that being a soldier in the infantry is not just a job, but a way of life. It's a culture. It's a calling. It's a calling to always go further, faster, and harder than you think you can go. To be comfortable being uncomfortable, to close with and destroy our enemies in the crucible of ground combat. You are America's protectors, so carry your cross rifles forward into the fray, and when asked who we will send, always be ready to respond with a resounding roar, I am the infantry. Follow me. Thank you all for joining us here today. Happy birthday to this great nation. Godspeed and long live the infantry. Follow me.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Infantryman's Creed is a standard for all infantry soldiers to live by. The Infantryman's Creed helps soldiers understand that despite their very diverse backgrounds, all infantry soldiers are warriors and members of a team. The soldier of the cycle from Charlie Company, 2nd Battalion, 58th Infantry Regiment, Private Alan Miller, will recite the Infantryman's Creed.
The infantryman's creed!
I'm the infantry! I'm a demonstrated war! Preserve peace! I want to fight! When I'm here in the enemies! I'm together! I'm a demonstrated peace! The best great soldier in the world! In the race of victory! I sweat, deserve, grace! All the fears of the way! And never let them trust! Always have a to the hope, to the dead! Return overall!
As the soldiers pass to your front, we invite you to take pictures, so please remain in your seats. When the American flag passes to your front, we ask that you rise and that the gentlemen remove their headgear. Once the American flag has passed your location, you may be seated. Additionally, we ask that you please remain in the stands until the band is completely left the field. The commander of troops for today's ceremony is Captain Simmons Utai from 2nd Battalion of the 8th Infantry Regiment. Bravo Company, 1st Battalion, 9th Infantry Regiment is commanded by Captain Joseph from West Platoon is our first class Captain The platoon sergeant for 2nd Platoon is our first class Joshua Boyle from Shalimar, Florida. The platoon sergeant for 3rd Platoon is Sergeant First Class Stephen Bazell from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The platoon sergeant for 4th Platoon is Staff Sergeant Cameron Davis from Roseport, Oregon. The first sergeant for Bravo Company, 1st Battalion, 19th Infantry Regiment is First Sergeant Gary Stewart from Daytona Beach, Florida. The color sergeant is Sergeant First Class Donald Hopper from Newark, Ohio. Alpha Company, 2nd Battalion, 54th Infantry Regiment is commanded by First Lieutenant Alan Hicks from Raleigh, North Carolina. The platoon sergeant for 1st Platoon is Sergeant First Class Maxwell Wyndham from Las Vegas, Nevada. The platoon sergeant for 2nd Platoon is Tucson, Arizona. The platoon sergeant for 3rd Platoon is Sergeant First Class William Glenn from Lacey, Washington. The first sergeant for Alpha Company, 2nd Battalion, 54th Infantry Regiment is First Sergeant Eric McCulty from Southern Pines, North Carolina. Charlie Company, 2nd Battalion, 58th Infantry Regiment is commanded by Captain Casey Holt from Colquitt, Georgia. The platoon sergeant for 1st Platoon is Sergeant First Class Ed Corey Thomas from Spring, Ohio. The platoon sergeant for 2nd Platoon is Sergeant First Class Aaron Wright from Williston, South Carolina. The platoon sergeant for 3rd Platoon is Staff Sergeant Peter Schmidt from Wayne, Pennsylvania. The platoon sergeant for 4th Platoon is Staff Sergeant John Kennedy from Lakeland, Missouri. The first sergeant for Charlie Company, 2nd Battalion, 8th Infantry Regiment is First Sergeant Stephen Bellows from College Station, Texas. Major Daniel Roney, we thank you for attending today's graduation ceremony. You may now join your soldier in the formation area of the museum. As you exit the parade field, please stay off the grass. Have a safe journey home. Follow me.